Let's talk about the future of the mycotoxins control.
Yeah, okay. So yesterday we had a workshop that really looked at the chain and said, right, from the soil through to the animal, what are the opportunities? And there are lots of opportunities. I think what we just said around the soil and the plant, I think that will be one that will really evolve, because there are opportunities there, and we will need to look at it as we've seen with gut health. We've removed antibiotics, we've removed chemicals, and we're really focused on the microbial communities. The same with the soil. We remove the fertilizers, remove the pesticides. What's that doing for us from the microbial side of things, and how can things like the crop science technologies help? So that's the first one. And then as we come through the importance of testing, to understand the mycotoxin challenge that does come in from the field, and the testing methods are becoming quicker, more people are integrating those into their system, and really that's a decision point where, based on that test, we know then, okay, this grain needs to be used for this species, or this grain should be limited in a diet because of the level. When we then go on, and I'm going to talk straight into the feed mill side of things, one of the things that our Alltech Coppens team was sharing with us at the workshop was how they've instigated a system of testing, a risk assessment that comes into the formulation software, and then based on the fish species that the diet is for and the risk assessment that they've conducted on that, then they add in the appropriate level of the mycotoxin mitigation strategy, so that they feel very confident that they know what that level of risk is based on the testing. They've built that into the formulation, and they've added the right level of insurance or mitigation so that they can deal with any mycotoxin that's going to be there, because we know that there's going to be some. And then they can communicate that to their customers and say, hey, this is the strategy, this is the program, and everything, we've got things under control. And I think that will become increasingly the way things are done, because still many people will say, no, we don't have mycotoxins. We do. And so it's really just turning it around and saying, yes, we know they're there, therefore we test for it, and we apply the mitigation strategies as we need to, based on the formulations that we have and the species that we're feeding. And then other things like cleaning and sorting. The technology is coming that can help us. How viable those things will be within a commercial feed setting, I think those are some of the questions that people have, because even though we know technology can work, it puts sort of constraints on the feed production system, but there are options. And then technology in storage, now seeing many more sort of devices that we can put into the silo, that now more automatically we can track that silo. So it should further improve that whole storage side of things, so that when that grain comes in, and we know that it will bring some mycotoxin from the field, but actually then in a storage setting, we're not going to see that mycotoxin increase significantly, because our storage practices are continually increasing. And then through to the animal, using the mitigation strategies to complement the rest of that chain. Right? You think 10 years ago, 5 years ago, because the understanding of the chain was not so good, the use of the mitigation strategy maybe is less precise, because we have to cover the unknowns. The more we know about the chain, the more precise we can be with the mitigation strategy at the end. And so, as Ronald was saying yesterday, it's more about that precision of the diet at the end. So I think we will move more in into that realm. So I think what we've seen is that our management of mycotoxins has been improving, and so whereas we might see 60, 70, 80% of our ingredients and feeds in that lower to moderate category, and we do see 10, 15, 20% in that higher risk category. So to me, it's always been around, how do you manage that high risk? Right? How do you make sure that high risk is as low as possible and is as managed as possible? Well, I think that's what we do in the future. We manage that top end a lot better, and so that it's just a smoother process, knowing that the low and the moderate is really where we want to be. We would love to be without mycotoxins, but the reality is if we can be in that low to moderate zone, it's very manageable.
Nick, thank you very much for your time.
Excellent. Thank you.